Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of our local global series and SOS Wrestling. Kind of flubbed the intro a little bit, but with how this week's going, I'm totally okay with that. I wasn't much to go over before the show, so I decided to just jump right into it. And in the first match of UPW Fight Night, Cologne defeated Bill Carr in 11:01 by pinfall. This got a 33. Bill Carr got a 36, so that's pretty good. Alex only getting a 28, so not very good. But a crowd of 317 people, that's, I think, our biggest crowd yet, so I'm very happy with that. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next segment, which is Alex Cologne grabbing the mic after the match, and he says, "It seems like everyone here has forgotten about me. So allow me to remind you, I am Alex Cologne, the man who dethroned Dalton Castle to become the UPW heavyweight champion. I have put on some of the best matches you people have ever seen. I was the leader of the most dominant force in professional wrestling. But none of that seemed to matter when the men I called brothers stabbed me in the back. I have been treated like a joke and a jobber, and I'm sick and tired of it. So watch out, because Alex Cologne is back." So, interesting promo. Do think it's based in fact a lot. Not a lot of, heel ignorance there. He has really been treated like a jobber for the past, I guess, almost a year now. But, that wasn't really by design or choice. He just kind of got pushed to the sideline as some bigger stars came to the company, but he is done with that. And I cannot seem to pronounce his name. At least I don't think I can. It sounds weird coming out of my mouth. But it's been a long week. I'll pin it on that. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next segment. An extremely short match. Vanessa Craven defeated Brit Baker in 3:35 by pinfall with a choke bomb. Interesting name for a finisher. She got a 42, Baker got a 50, 41 rating on the match. So not an amazing match. Pretty good, but for the women's division, and it was an eye candy match, so pretty meh as far as eye candy matches go. But a good debut, I guess it's not a debut, a good first match under contract, I guess, by Vanessa Craven, and seems to be a pretty dominating force. We'll see how if Kyrie Hojo takes notice. And next up is Dijak and Morgan versus the Colony. They do defeat the Colony in 9:55 when Dijak defeated Silver Ant by pinfall. Dijak was really off his game, still getting a 37. Dijak might be the way to go for the future. I mean, obviously I have quite a few plans as far as the future goes. One really huge one that you guys are going to be insanely, hopefully proud of and really like, because I really like it. Of course, I'm probably hyping it up a little bit too much because it is just a storyline that, is not set in stone yet. So ignore what I just said. Fire Ant got a 33, Silver Ant got a 36, 37 rating on the match. Pretty good match. Dijak's still improving in Rumble, so he's definitely going to be very good after, this whole thing with Morgan ends, because, let's face it, Morgan is pretty old, so there's not a lot of time he's going to be spending in UPW. I don't know if that's going to be a year, if that's going to be, a couple months. I haven't decided yet, but we will see, and he's going to make the most of his time here. I can assure you of that. And in about that, a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Jason Lee defeated Colby Corino in 10:40 by submission. He was really off his game, which probably contributed to the 32 rating. Corino got a 29, which I'm pretty sure that's pretty good for him. Lee, I guess he got like a 40, or has been getting near 40s, so 33 isn't great, but, this was just a random match that I put on Fight Night one week, so not too disappointed in it. And in a decent match, I would consider this better than decent with a 50 rating. Kyrie Hojo defeated Penelope Ford in 12:12 by submission. Ford got a 24, but Kyrie definitely carried the match with a 64. And I think it's safe to say that Kyrie Hojo is the best wrestler in our company by far, and surprisingly enough, not the most expensive. So that's something to note. Moving on to the next segment, which after the match, Hojo is celebrating in the ring when Craven's music hits. The Beast walks halfway down the ramp and just stares down the champion. So no physical contact, but definitely an intimidation play by Vanessa Craven here. I don't know what she was planning on doing, or if she was even planning on doing anything, but I think this was mainly just to let Kyrie Hojo that she is here in UPW, and she's going to be on the top very soon. At least, that's what I read into it. You might have read something different. It was kind of a vague storyline, or vague angle, so you can really read into it any way you like. And in a match that I'm pretty sure is our main event, Rocky Romero defeated JT Dunn in 13:02 by pinfall with a Foreign Devil, which is a cool name for a finisher, unlike the Choke Bomb. JT got a 37, Rocky got a 49. For some reason, Rocky is a lot better than Trent in this mod. Not sure why, it's just how things play out. The Who is not the best mod, but he does have a better picture pack than Fleisch, in my opinion. I think that's how you say it, Fleisch. And that's really a lot more of a big deal for me than I thought it was. But at this point, we've kind of, built people up enough that the ratings don't matter too much. And, we've managed to live with it for 19 episodes. I think we can live with it for quite a few more. So moving on to what I think is the final segment of the match, or of the show rather. Hansen and Dalton Castle are in the ring having a contract signing for the upcoming match, which will be at Night of Champions, not at Fastlane, because that would be stupid to give that match away at Fastlane. Probably going to be some kind of tag team match, although I don't know how that would fit with the story, so I'll figure it out. They're going to be in some kind of interaction, but Steve Corino is hosting, and Hansen signs the contract first before handing it over to Castle. This was one of the randomly generated angles, because I quite frankly did not want to write this one out, because I couldn't figure out a way to make it sound, natural. So basically he just walks back to his corner, Castle steps up, and then however things do not go so easy afterwards, and Hansen and Castle get into a brawl. What is to be noted, Castle did kind of hold his own, as we've kind of seen him book pretty weak in the past few weeks, which, kind of by intention, but at the same time, he is a good competitor. He is a former UPW heavyweight champion, and he does deserve respect. So I think that was a good thing to hit on, and that will end off the show. Don't need a pre-booking. Think I've already done it. 46 rating. So pretty good show all in all. Probably should have had the women's match and the main event, but that can be said on basically any show. Pretty good first show for this episode. Next show will actually be Fastlane, because with scheduling, I didn't mean to put it right after this show, but, it just kind of came up, and it's such a small show, it's not even that major, that it's probably just, it's okay to just throw that in randomly in an episode, rather than Night of Champions, which is going to be built to. So I will go ahead and jump right to that, I guess. Alright, so UPW Fastlane starts off with Steve Corino standing in the ring with Takahashi. Steve says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that our longest reigning heavyweight champion will soon be leaving us. He has been called back to Japan and will not be able to continue working for UPW. So Hiromu, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done for us." And Hiromu kind of cuts him off a little bit, and he says, "I'm not done yet, Steve." Obviously, in broken English, probably, but I don't really feel like being called a racist today, so we'll just imagine it. I will be facing someone at Night of Champions, and I expect them to give me the greatest match these fans have ever seen. So, 47 rating. It doesn't really matter about the rating. Don't really have any storylines in this company, within the game's parameters. So, pretty good angle, all in all. Hiromu will be leaving. If I'm being completely honest, he doesn't have to leave. I could do a little bit of, I could improvise, but at the same time, it's kind of time. It's kind of time for us to move on from Hiromu Takahashi, and I just don't think his character fits with the main event scene right now, so maybe in the future he'll come back. But as of right now, Night of Champions will be Hiromu Takahashi's very last UPW match. So we move on to the first match of the show, which is Vanessa Craven, Penelope Ford, and Kimberly in a four-way women's number one contendership match. Vanessa Craven defeats them all in 11:05 when Vanessa defeated Ford by pinfall with a sit-out powerbomb. So Vanessa seemed off her game, only getting a 34, but that's still pretty good. Kimber getting a 38, Leva getting a 43, 38 rating, and Kimberly's improving in performance. So Vanessa officially becomes the women's number one contender. We'll see how Kyrie handles the news, and see how Vanessa goes about, warning Kyrie Hojo. We will see. Jason Lee defeats Stevo Reno, the hometown hero, in 7:49 by pinfall. Lee makes defense number 2 of his UPW Ironman title. Lee got a 39, and Stevo got a 18. So obviously Steve, not a full-time member of the competition, of the roster, but he did okay, I guess. Pretty good for enhancement talent. Obviously, I think that Stevo Reno is one of the greatest indie wrestlers in the world, but that's just because I've had a couple conversations with him mainly. But he is honestly very good in the ring, and I think you should probably check him out because he's probably one of my favorite indie wrestlers. 32 rating on this match, and just kind of a random, hey, I'm the Cruiserweight champion, I'm the Ironman champion, and I have no one to face. Someone come out here and face me, I don't care who it is, because I'll take anyone on. And Stevo Reno comes out, probably do a big pop, because this is his hometown, and the lights go out in the building as Jason Kinkaid's voice rings out through the speakers. Kinkaid says, "The time of reckoning is upon us, my children." The lights turn back on as Kinkaid attacks Lee from behind, beating the Ironman champion down. It's got a 50 rating. Really happy about the rating, and Jason Kinkaid finally showing up to make his mark on Jason Lee, I guess you could say. Kinkaid's coming back with kind of a vengeance. Maybe being a little bit inspired by Bray Wyatt. He does have that southern culty vibe, but probably not going to make him actually have his whole, the Kinkaid family or something, because not going to rip him off completely, but hopefully Kinkaid can live up to all this hype, and hopefully they can put on a great match at Night of Champions, because, that's kind of what this is implying, that Kinkaid wants a shot. And in the next match, a decent match, I think it was a little better than decent, Roppongi Vice defeats Chaos in 13:06 when Cody Hall intentionally got disqualified when fighting Rocky Romero. This was not for the titles. The one for the titles is at Night of Champions, so that's why Cody was okay with probably hitting Rocky with a chair. Cody did seem off his game, only getting a 31. Hall got a 40, Dunn got a 40, Trent got a 54, and Rocky got a 58. So very good by everyone except for Hall, but he didn't do awful, and he was off his game, so can't blame it too much on him. But he did get a 49 rating, or the match did, so I'm very happy with that. Moving on. After the match, Hall grabs another chair and tosses it to Dunn. He tosses his chair to Janela. Janela and Dunn continue attacking Roppongi Vice while Hall grabs a mic. He leans down to get in the face of their rivals. He says, "Let me tell you something, boys. This isn't Japan. You can't just walk around here like you're royalty, because the only royalty here in UPW is us. Greatness has no peak, and we're just getting started." And then he probably, raises his arms or something and then, kicks him. Who knows? Just very heelish. Obviously, the numbers game is, obviously in Chaos's favor, and we will see how Roppongi Vice handles it at Night of Champions. So 54 rating, definitely happy with that, and we'll move on to the main event, a decent match. Dalton Castle defeated Hansen in 11:54 when Hansen intentionally got counted out. So, obviously Hansen tried to fight, and he realized that Castle was putting up a little bit more of a fight than he you know, thought he would, I guess. He expected from Hansen, or from Castle, rather. So Hansen just said, screw this isn't for the title. Even if it was, I'm not losing to this twerp, at least not clean. So we rolled out of the ring and walked to the back, with Castle kind of steaming in the ring because he really wanted a piece of Hansen. And Castle was really off his game. Still got a 42, so I'm not mad at him. Hansen got a 44. I could say that I expect more from him, but honestly, with the fact that we're just a small company with 253 people showing up at our shows, I'm pretty alright with this, because no matter what we get on the shows, our popularity is going to go up for the most part. So we'll go ahead and end off Fastlane, see what we got. A 42. So not great. Obviously would have been a lot better if I'd put Roppongi Vice versus Chaos in the main event, but that really didn't make any sense considering that Castle versus Hansen is, obviously the main storyline of our company right now. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time.